go.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And he froze.
Worst time to freeze ever, Mike.
Hello, Custom Builds. Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all, as well as the podcast, on Instagram and YouTube.
Oh my God.
Da, da. Welcome to episode 44 of another Woodshop podcast, proudly working with the DDDMS Foundation. Pre-show joke there.
You really missed out if you weren't in the pre-show this week.
Yeah. All the proceeds from the show are going.
We're just trying to help those poor kids out. They're so sweaty.
All the proceeds
you know
from
what?
this show are going to DDDMS.
Don't make that claim. That's not happening.
Are there proceeds?
The DDDMS. Hey, listen. This week's sponsor, it's actually a pretty special sponsor because they are the first sponsor that this show has ever had. That was Bear Hollow Supply.
And the last one, this
They're
last
back.
show. Kidding.
Yeah, this is the last one. They were the first sponsor, and they're on their last show, which is this show. Even though we're supposed to have three more. No, big thank you to Bear Hollow Supply for sponsoring the show. We really appreciate their support. We'd appreciate it if you gave them some support too. They, like I said, they were our very first sponsor, and they early on were like, hey, and they make really cool stuff. So I'm actually going to be using their hardware for my bed build that I'm doing. I've had it for a long time actually, but I'm finally getting to this bed build, and I'll be buying more for the other bed I'm doing. So big thank you to them. They've got really great legs. You've seen them on my feed before, the legs for their tables,
Cast
hardware for
aluminum,
beds.
right?
Yeah, the cast aluminum that look like old Singer style sewing machine legs. They're great.
That's what it is.
Really great
That's
stuff.
the pattern. I was trying to figure out what I get it now. Yeah.
Pete figured it out.
Like they look
We were able to work through this with Pete.
Yeah.
But big thank you to them. They got a bunch of good stuff. Cabinet hardware. They've even got like direct ordered lumber now, 4/4 like red oak, walnut, and maple,
nice.
I believe. Don't quote me, but I believe that's correct. But Dan, did you have something you wanted to say?
No,
You're
sir.
pointing at me. Okay. Well, Pete,
Yeah, you know
I
who
think
else
you
has
wanted to
great
talk about
legs?
Patreon.
Yeah. Our patrons have great
Ooh.
legs.
Oh, that's true.
So I'm told. But huge shout out to our patrons. If you want to help support the show, please check us out on patreon.com/Another Woodshop Podcast for early access, behind the scenes, and all the fun, exciting things that we drop there. So if you want to join us, again, check us out, patreon.com/Another Woodshop Podcast. Now, Mike, I believe we have some patrons.
We got
do.
some new patrons this week.
New patrons.
We got some new patrons this week. So big thank you to our patrons. Hey, big thank you to all of our patrons,
All
not
of our
just the new
patrons.
patrons. We love you. We really do love you guys. So thank you so much. We joined the family this week is Brian Gwilliam. That is how it's written out, and I've seen it everywhere on the internet. It's Brian Gwilliam.
I've always
just wanted
thought
to
that
point
is
out-
Brian G. William.
I did too, but it's on here. I see it everywhere as Brian
Is the G
Gwilliam. So
silent?
it's actually double emphasized. It says right here. It's Brian Gwilliam. So no, Brian, thank you for joining the family. His email is at prodigy.net. That's bonkers. That's old school. That's and then Kevin Kramer. Big thank you to Kevin Kramer for joining. And Nicholas, I won't say your whole name. I don't want to give the whole thing away. So big thanks to Nick. Really appreciate you, the three of you joining the family. And
Is there like
supporting
some
us.
big secret with his name?
He just wants
No,
to
it's
find
got,
out.
I don't want, it'll give away his whole email. I don't want to say, I don't know what his Instagram account is. If he has one, I don't want to say too much information. I feel bad. I don't want to like give out people's full emails and stuff.
All right,
His email is daniel.dunlapwoodworks@AOL. No, anyway.
He can't afford AOL.
It's too pricey. And all that beeps and clicking
He just keeps
noises,
getting
it's,
those 7-day trial DVDs.
So hey, that's it, I think, right? What do we do now? We go right into our
It's a wrap.
what's on
Good
the
show,
bench kind of
guys.
thing.
Yeah, what's on the bench?
I don't know.
Let me look at my notes. Yeah, let's what's on my bench. And because Dan said he doesn't know, it's going to Dan first. Dan, what's on your bench? Prosciutto.
I think I know. We've done this for 44 weeks now. 44 weeks.
That's kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
believe that's 70 months. Go
Is
on.
that the math?
Nope.
I don't know. I'm currently working on a teak shower floor. I've been talking about this, I feel like, for the last 6 months.
You have been.
Mm-hmm.
I've been
Starting to
alluding
notice
to it.
a trend. Walnut desk, teak shower floor.
I've been alluding to it for the last several months, but I'm starting to finally work on it. My client has had some design changes in their basement where this is going. So the project I've had has been on hold until the basement has been finalized. And that has come to fruition as of New Year's Eve, I think. And she finally messaged me and said, "Hey, we're ready. Let's do this." And I was like, "Yes, finally." So I've been working on that. I did like 250 dado cuts on my table saw.
That
In
wasn't for a
teak?
cutting board.
No, that's
Okay.
a weird thing to do. Cutting board. dado.
It's that juice groove. It's all dados.
It's good.
It's a super deep juice groove.
So I've been working on that. I need to put it together yet. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little nervous.
Finally.
Teak is expensive, you guys. It's crazy expensive. I got
Yeah, it
it
is.
on a deal at $20 a board foot.
Woot.
Woot.
No.
Put it on Woot.com.
Wood.com teak.
They were plussing out all their teak.
It was like off-brand. It was spelled with a Q.
Yeah, it was TEAQUE.
No, I got it.
not
I got it from a local woodworker who has a ton of it. I don't know where you got it from, but it's all like sort of reclaimed, and it's
You just
normally
stained
like,
Alder. You just got ripped off.
it's not.
He rubbed carnauba oil all over it, so it's still
I promise
oily.
it's not. But normally it's like $29 a board foot here in Omaha, and I got it for 20.
I believe it.
But that's still crazy expensive. I mean, the amount of teak I got, it's still like $800 my cost.
That's crazy.
Wow.
It's insane. And this shower floor I'm making is 70 inches by 47 inches. So it's big.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a party shower.
Shower is
Right?
bigger
It's
than
a
some people's
party
shops.
shower. They could have a dance party in there.
Actually, for a fact, I know that's a larger shower than JV Woodworks Woodshop, because he has that.
That's-
tiny
that
little
seems-
basement
that
shop.
70
seems weird.
inches?
That
It's-
seems weird.
No, it's a tiny space. It's like
Seems
what your
really weird that you would know that.
like what your table saw and outfeed table are. That's his shop. Yeah.
Wow.
The man does wonderful work.
All right.
I mean, I think at a certain point you can't just call everything a shop, right?
It's a
I
shop.
mean, it's just his closet, like his pantry, right?
Yeah, call my bathroom the shop. I do work in there.
It's my shoe closet. It's my shop.
Or Jake.
Shoe closet shop.
We love Jake. I love Jake.
I do too. He's good people. You gonna do anything, Dan? Like throw it or
Oh no,
give
I'm
us
still
dead air?
talking.
He's got more
Oh,
stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm
More
sorry.
stuff.
You were slamming alcoholic beverages. I was curious what was happening.
It was just an apple juice. So not only am I doing that, but I'm also refinishing a desk, an old writing desk.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solid cherry writing desk. I've actually had my brother come over and sand everything for me because I do not want to sand that
Outsourcing.
much. I mean, it's got these really intricate like claw feet on it.
Did
And
you use a Dremel?
oh yeah, we use the
God.
Dremel, and I bought some like specific like little sanding discs for it. He did it. It took him 3 days, but it looks great. And what else? I think. Oh, I have to work on a picture frame for a client. I started working on that. I made it, and I left my garage door open overnight, and my glue went bad, and I didn't realize it. My glue went bad, and I glued the picture frame together with that glue, and
Just exploded.
as soon as I took it out of clamps, it was in clamps for like 4 or 5 hours. As soon as I took it out of clamps, it fell apart.
So wait, you
It
left your
literally
garage door open?
fell apart. Literally.
You left a garage door open all night?
Yes. I
Cool.
don't live in Jersey, dude. I live in
Oh.
Nebraska.
I forgot.
Wait, you're the one that lives in Nebraska?
Yeah,
I
me.
always get you two mixed up.
Yeah, right. But actually, Nick Brim, who's a listener, he lives a block from me,
He's a customer of mine.
as we found out. And so he can like walk over here anytime and we hang out. And he's like, "Hey, you in the shop?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm coming over with a beer." Sweet.
That's a good friend.
Right?
It's a good friend.
So he comes over, we're talking, I take it out of clamps and it just falls apart. Like,
Check out
right
the sweet
there.
frame I made.
It just falls apart right there. I'm like, it's the glue. It's not the
This
gaps.
has never happened before.
It's not the gaps in the miners.
Not to quote half the comments section, but it wood movement.
Shut up. That's all I got. Pete,
Hey,
go on.
Dan, I
with
kind of
your
want to
wood
shout you
movement
out.
Comments.
Well, hang on. I want to shout you out for the fact that like you made it, man. You've got help in the shop now. Like
Well, I got a
actually-
little bit of help.
I know, but still, like you're paying
don't
someone,
know if I'd-
outsourcing someone to work. There's
Well, I'm not paying him. My brother owes me. I'm not paying him.
there. There's a life debt that is being repaid.
The IRS
debt?
listens to this. The
rookie life
IRS listens to
debt.
this.
I'm not paying
Calm
him. I
down.
can't legally, under the entity that I have, pay him. What are you talking about, Pete? Shut up.
I'm not paying him any money.
You
I'm
don't see
giving
the
him coffee and steaks.
you don't see that like the chain running from his leg in the videos. It's so funny. Well, since Dan took so long, I'm gonna cut down all the things I did in the shop. I'm just gonna cut
Never
them
take
out.
long on what's on my
I'm
bench.
kidding. I have nothing on my bench. I
I actually got more to say.
Well, go ahead. You want to go?
I ordered a
Didn't
CNC. You know, whatever.
Why would you skip that?
I don't know.
I'm throwing it back to Dan. Dan, what were you saying?
I ordered a CNC.
Nice.
Wait, did
Right?
you like? Do you know what a CNC is though, right? Like you don't just order like you.
It's
What does it
I don't
stand
know.
for?
I've heard rumors of what it does. I don't know what it does.
What
I
does
just
what does
thought,
CNC stand for, Dan?
Country,
Uh-oh, careful.
national.
Ooh, it's getting very political.
I just got bad words in my head. I don't know.
And moving on.
It's very exciting.
I'm so stoked. Wait, which
excited
one
for
did you
to
go
get
with? I know, but I'm excited.
Onefinity, actually.
Ooh,
Ooh,
nice.
Yes.
Those look solid.
That's the one that Jeff from Two Moose has. He was
It
on our
is.
show a couple episodes back.
Yeah.
you
At
can go
least
listen to
10.
that. Has it
A lot of
been
people
10
do.
already?
It wasn't December for sure.
Good Lord.
We're old.
We're old dudes.
We're aging with this
veterans.
podcast.
Yeah, I ordered the Onefinity, and from everything that I'm reading, and according to the Onefinity website, it's going to be 2 months to 4 months before it gets here. So
Oof.
it's gonna be some time.
That soon, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be quick.
It gives you time to prep. I mean, hopefully you'll start the teak shower floor by then.
I've already started it.
All right, I'll finish it. You're right. It's not going to be finished by then.
I don't like you.
Well, you got another tool this week too, right?
Oh yeah.
You
A
did?
buddy of mine brought me a brand new drill
Oh,
press.
Yes.
I mean it's
Very
a nice
cool.
it's a nice little drill press.
It's very nice of someone to bring you that.
Yeah, they just brought it to me because they know that
They saw your old one.
I've been dealing with the time. What is our show title? The
Little baby, the little
tiniest little
tiniest little wind drill press.
Wind drill press.
I've been using that. So they brought me the best big drill press that Menards provides.
What's the brand name?
Master Force. With a name like that, you can't go
So
wrong.
is it like an anime? Like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop. Next, Pete. Continue.
Yeah. No. I actually had I was slammed with work the entire week. I was working afternoons this week. Actually, just clocked out a little bit ago. Yay. But I have been slammed and busy and getting caught up with stuff because apparently taking a couple of days off and going away doesn't mean that the business stops. There things still need to be done. So I actually
Explain.
I apparently when you leave, the orders keep coming in and things still need to get done. That
Are you saying that you left? Where'd you
Yeah,
go?
I left for I talked about this last week, but we went away to Pennsylvania
again.
for 3 days and it was lovely. I am, however, getting very upset with the Pennsylvania post office. we had a bunch of packages that we wanted to ship out, and we were like, all right, let's just go to PA. We'll find a post office and drop them off in there. We walked into the post office, placed them on the table, walked out, and they were like, yeah, leave them right here. They're yet to update. It's been over a week. They're yet to update on the website, which means I have 5 or 6 packages that are probably just lost in shipment. Thanks, USPS. First time I really hate you. So
That sucks, dude.
Yeah, that definitely sucks. So I'm going to be reaching out to the customers this week and be like, hey, did you get your package? Because it shows me that you didn't.
Remember how you paid me?
He paid me money.
And
funny story.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah, so that really sucks. I was really upset because it wasn't even like I put it in like a mailbox or like we've talked about in the past, having a mailman not scan it. We literally placed it on a bench in front of a teller or whatever they're called at the post office. So
that doesn't guarantee anything. Those people don't care.
Those people don't care. They probably they just brushed it off the counter onto the floor.
This is in my way.
This is in my way. I'm done with this. So yeah, that happened.
That sucks, dude.
Aside from that, all I've had time to do in the shop this week is organize, clean stuff out. I threw out a ton of scrap wood. I went full Rusty and Mike Coffee on Dan's shop, but my edition, where I just threw out all these scraps that I had and just it all went to the firewood pile. And I have about 2 giant barrels of wood to burn.
It's called going Crofmer.
Crofmer?
Kramer and coffee.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
that's very
it's going
good.
Crofmer on your out.
Oh, I
offcuts.
get it. I get
Oh,
it.
wait, people
Took me a
didn't know
second.
Rusty's last name was Kramer.
Now they can look him up and go to his house and smell his hair.
Bang him.
What him?
Bing him.
Oh,
No, not like the search engine. It's a sex move.
it's a thing
It's
he's
when-
into.
so you take a
No, this
track
podcast is
saw
getting
and you-
re-rated.
Never mind. We're gonna talk about it later. But all I really got to do is just clean out the shop. I got a couple of projects cleaned up. I had some boards that got sold on Etsy, so I just finished them up and got them out the door. Like I said, I got slammed with 3D printing orders, which was kind of nice.
That's awesome.
I got to make that paper, but it keeps me away from woodworking, which is kind of a bummer because I have some projects that I really want to work on.
You're gonna get a ton of those track saw
Thank you, Dan.
holders.
And thank you, Mike, for always shouting out stuff when I send you junk. And then you
Legally required.
Junk.
legally required. They're
I
sponsored
use all
by
the stuff
Peaches
you send
Workshop.
me. I love it.
I know you.
I felt bad when I switched out from DeWalt over to Festool because you shot me so many of those DeWalt things.
Well, guess what? I made festival stuff just for you.
I know.
Yeah, you put
And
a lot
they're
of
great.
pressure
I
on
have
me.
them all over my
Like
shop. They're
episode
fantastic.
32 through 35, a lot of pressure from Mike.
What happened?
I
What?
said check episodes 32 through 35, a lot of pressure from Mike. But I made a fun little organizer for I have these Harbor Freight. Yep. It just goes.
I made a little organizer for all my shake weights. I'm a huge collector.
these organized cases from
Rustic
Harbor Freight.
shake weights.
I'm not gonna say what I said in a pre-show.
No, don't.
I gotta get a pen and paper.
Anyways,
I'm writing it down, Dan.
I have these organizers that I got from Harbor Freight, and I've been using them a lot, but I don't have a good way to store them. So I just made a whole drawer set or cabinet for them, so I can. Again, I'm doing a thing. That's pretty much it. That's literally the only project I got done this week, which is kind of a bummer. But I released some new products on Etsy, some CNC corner clamps, so that was fun. Anyways, Mike, what's going on with you, man?
Just some shop stuff this week. Well, I'll kind of go through. So I made a new offcut shelf. It is super ugly. I do not like it at all. It will not be
Agreed.
staying.
It's
But
very ugly.
It works for now. I just need to
easy
get
to
those.
remove.
Yeah, it's super easy to remove on purpose. I do not like it. I don't like. I just needed to get those things out of my way for now. They're just in my way. I need them out of my way.
If only you knew a furniture maker to make some shelves.
I've got an ad out on Craigslist, so I'm gonna meet some dude behind a Kmart, see if he can make me one. But so that's done, and then I made that little that I don't want to say hose hole, but the vacuum hose hole for the miter saw, the one that we discussed on before the show last week, Pete. I made that thing. That thing works great.
Vacuum hose hole shop tie.
Yep. And then I made this on my CNC. I carved out this tool holder for all my like markup and layout tools, and I really like that thing a lot.
It's the most baller overkill thing I have ever seen.
So
and
overkill.
I love you for making it.
I love it. It's so cool.
So cool.
I just got the finish on it today, and it's super
Bougie.
cool. Huh?
Bougie.
It is bougie. It's really bougie, but it looks good. And I've got the problem with when I move shops, like when I put my CNC, I've got all my hand tools in this hand tool cabinet. Well, they're away from my workbench where I need all my hand tools for markup and stuff. So I'm trying to get everything on a wall behind my workbench. And it's just a much better setup. I'm going to make a new hand plane till and a saw till over there. And I ordered a while ago from Benchcrafted their Moxon Vise, like mini Moxon Vise setup. I ordered them. They've been in a box. So I'm going to start working on my little benchtop bench. It's inspired by Matt over at Shapeshifter. He has a really nice Moxon benchtop bench. So I'm gonna use that because when you're doing dovetail, I want to finally spend time doing dovetails. Not like I think you need to know dovetails for woodworking, but for myself, I want to know how to do hand cut dovetails. So
you have in CNC, they can cut that for you, right?
Yeah, but I want to do it for me. Yeah. So I got, every time I've done them in the past, like when I was like really like getting into the nitty gritty with them, I'm just leaning over a lot and it hurts my back. So I got this, I'd ordered that Benchcrafted set a long while
Old
back.
Man probs.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So I can throw it on my bench. It'll raise up my piece and I can work on it there. So I'm looking forward to building that. I'm going to start that soon. I cleaned up our coffee table. I've ordered actually I haven't gotten confirmation on the orders. I need to follow up on that, but I've got the information over for the bases for the coffee tables that I'm making. And I was telling you guys about that table those two slabs that I flattened. And I thought that I'd probably be seeing those slabs again.
Yep.
I'm doing her table. So,
they came back.
No, they never left. She actually ended up leaving them here and they never left. So
job security. Just start charging her storage fees now at this point. Yeah,
it's like, it's cool. I'm excited to help her out because they're beautiful slabs. I don't want her to, they're hers. So if they leave the shop and it's whatever, she can do whatever she wants with them. They're hers. But I was like, hey, listen, I'd really hate for these to get ruined. So if you'd like me to price it up, I'll give you my price for different things. So we're still working on the pricing on things because we might be adding a third panel in between the slabs because she doesn't like how wide they are.
For a table?
Yeah.
Oh, she wants them wider.
So it's only 29 inches wide for the for the dining table. And she doesn't think that's wide enough for a dining table. So she wants to add, she wants it to basically be at 3 feet.
Oh, Ebony. I thought you glued it already.
Ebony.
No, I haven't glued it.
Oh, okay.
It's still.
Did you say ebony?
Yes.
Like as in add an ebony
in
the center.
Yes.
Walnut.
just a perfectly dimensioned random ebony plank in the center.
Yeah.
It's a $73,000 table. No, so there's that. And I got all the insulation in for the loft the other day. That's all up there. I'm going to definitely be up there installing insulation tomorrow, but I'm also working on this video for Home Depot for YouTube. So I'm actually going to be having content hitting my Instagram for that over the next. I've got 2 posts I got to do with them on there, and then I got to get the YouTube video out. So going on that, and that's pretty much been my week.
Nice.
It's been kind of a stressful week for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It's been busy with work, and it's all right. But yeah, excited to be in here all day tomorrow and not have any distractions of my day job. It's going to be really nice.
Very cool.
I think that's it. We should probably jump into the hundreds of questions we have this week. We actually have
hundreds.
Well, we have at least 13 or maybe even 12. Who knows?
Well, it's 2 over a maker's dozen.
Exactly.
A maker's dozen is 11. Remember that?
Oh, is that?
Never forget
13 questions. Hashtag never forget.
Never forget. Look at Dan, so mad.
Maker lives matter.
So this first question is from Adrienne. It's actually a 2-parter. So I'm going to play both. Hold on a second.
Parter barely knew her.
We're going in right now.
Hey guys, it's Adrienne here from Hickory Homestead Creations. And my question for you guys this week was, just out of curiosity, do you guys go back and like all of your videos and posts and stuff like to boost your, I know it's just by like 1, but I was just curious, are
you guys there?
I'm here. Yeah, I am. He just walked away. Mike, we're here. Hey, Mike, we're here.
Dan, are you there?
Dan just went to poop or pee. Keep playing it. Mike, you're freezing. You're freezing, Mike. You're here, but you're freezing. Dan just walked away for a sec. Can you see me?
I can see you moving.
Yeah. Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me talk? No?
Yeah.
I'm talking.
I can
okay,
hear you
cool.
now.
Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, you've been dipping out here or there, but nothing too bad. Dan just stepped away for a second.
Should we pause it and restart should I jump out and jump back in?
Yeah, restart the question as if, well, just play it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can edit it.
Well, where's Dan?
Dan left after you started playing.
Where's Dan?
Dan left after you started playing.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. Play it again?
Just go ahead. Yep.
All right. All right, here we go. Here's Adrienne's. I'll start it now.
Hey guys, it's Adrienne here from Hickory Homestead Creations. And my question for you guys this week was, just out of curiosity, do you guys go back and like all of your videos and posts and stuff like to boost your, I know it's just about like one, but I was just curious, like, I mean, I don't, but do people do that? I just had to know. Okay. Oh. And before I forget, I did want to bring up, can you mean like what is plywood versus a 2x4? I mean, like, what are the different types of plywood that you should build with? Furniture versus like, sheathing, as I've seen it called, or underlayment, or luan, or moana. I mean, can you explain this for some of us new folk over here? Virgin, thanks.
Pete.
So no, I'm not a loser. I don't go through and like my old posts. What I do is I send the post to my other 2 accounts, including another Woodshop podcast. And then I make sure to save and like in those accounts. And then I send them to the other accounts. So it looks like the post is getting shared to a bunch of people and getting all these random likes. No, I don't like my own posts. It's mostly out of, I don't go back and like them, but I also in the beginning don't want to look like that. Like, I'm like, oh, I have no likes. Let me like it. I don't know. I got in the habit of never liking my own posts because I thought it was tacky when I was little, but now I guess it doesn't make a difference because we're larger accounts. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I guess you can save it. If you have another account, go through and show engagement. It technically shows up as a like and a view and stuff. So I guess it doesn't hurt. And I'm serious. I have a personal account and I will go through and like my own stuff because I'm sad. As for the differences in the plywood, I'll be quick with it, but do you want to do your research on plywood? Because there's a lot of different choices, everything from construction grade to like the sides of the plywood. You'll actually see AA plywood, AB plywood. Dan, AA plywood is not like a drinking problem plywood. It's like regular, it's just 2 good sides. So the grade of the plywood face, I'm sorry, I drink too. I love it. But the faces are actually, once you get into furniture grade plywood, they are graded on a side. So you'll have like the show side and then the not so show side. And then there's the actual cores of the plywood. So it's almost too much to talk about in like one quick answer, but do your research on the faces. And just because it's a cheap piece of plywood, if it looks good, you're probably going to have a ton of voids in it. You're losing that. If it's cheaper piece against another piece, you're probably paying for something else. And it usually is quality of the inside of the plywood. And if the edge is important, look into getting something like multiply, often referred to as that. It's the one that has like, I want to say like 10 layers inside. Usually has no voids in it, and it's really nice to make plywood furniture. Mike, you do some plywood projects. You probably have some good input on this.
Nope.
Dan?
No, I'm just kidding. No, for sheathing, she asked about sheathing. So sheathing actually has a lot of shear strength, and it's for exterior skin of buildings. Sheathing, it's like for what you would put on the outside of a house or a shed. So like when you build, like when we were building my shed, when you build any building, if you just have the 2x4s, it can move around a lot. It'll shake even with the 2x4s. But as soon as you put that exterior sheathing on, it won't shake anymore. It keeps things from moving from side to side. That's the shear force. So that's what sheathing is for. But yeah, Pete went on most of the plywood stuff. I mean, there's a bunch of different grades of plywood. If you're not cutting into a piece of plywood, like on my walls here, I have this pre-finished ply and it was pretty good price. Obviously, I got it from Macbeth, so the pricing there is always amazing. Wink. But but if you cut into this stuff, it's actually got a pretty good amount of voids. But so because I was using it to panel up my walls, it's perfect. It looks really nice. But when and I'm looking at some edge grain here, the edge of some of the boards here,
edge grain of this
and,
plywood.
Yeah. And there's some voids in there. So, but it overall is good stuff still. So if you're not cutting a lot into the piece, that cheaper stuff can be just fine. But if you start cutting into it and you've got a lot of voids, it looks like crap. So it's worth spending money on plywood if you need it to be a nice piece. Dan? Oh, the liking thing. I don't like any of my own stuff, but if I'm on my personal account and my post comes up, I do follow myself. I will like it if it comes up. If I'm on the podcast account and I'm doing something over there to like take care of some stuff, if my post comes up, I'll like it and save it. I don't comment, but I'll like and save. Saving helps a lot if you're trying to be help people in the community. Liking and saving is the big things for sure. Dan?
I like and save all my posts on my woodworking account and my personal account because I don't care. I enjoy my stuff. That's why I post it. I like it. It's fantastic.
I've seen it. It's great.
I'm quite entertaining and I enjoy it. Whatever. But I'm gonna agree with what Pete said on the plywood stuff.
Poor Dan. We're just throwing shade at Dan right now. You're stupid and you smell bad. Answer the plywood question.
I like Dan.
I love Dan.
You got to pay attention to so like plywood is graded by ABCD, and that is the face grain grade, ABCD. So if you want like a good face grain grade, you want A. And the second number is the edge grain or the filler material grade, which is, so you want like an A1. That's going to be a great face grain plus a non-void filler grade. So if you want to like build furniture out of this stuff, you want like an A1 or an A2. That'll give you the least amount of voids in the plywood. However, like Mike is saying, if you're using it just for sheathing, you want to look for the sheathing grade plywood and things of that nature. So it behooves you quite a bit to do a little research. You're not going to get the best answer out of us for that. I mean, this could be like a full episode, I feel like.
Just to give you some input,
grades.
Like, I literally I teach a wood selection and grading class that I've taught in the past at my school, and this is a 2-hour class.
Yeah.
And plywood is like 45 minutes of it.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Cool. Next question.
All right. Well, let's move to the next question. Let's move along in the clip here. This next one's from Andrew Dearing from STL Dearing Designs.
Hey guys, it's Andy Dearing from STL Dearing Designs. Put together a bunch of drawer boxes this weekend, and I'm curious, what's your preferred method of drawer box creation? Is it rabbets, dados, dovetails? Just curious. Thanks, guys.
I'll go first real quick. My preferred method is rabbets. If I'm in a hurry, I'll do pocket holes. Today, actually, I cut out a very nice box on my CNC is in the future. It's not the prettiest looking box, but for shop boxes, I'll definitely use my CNC in the future. It came out really nice and I'm really happy with it. So, but my absolute preferred method is rabbets because it's just so strong. You could throw that thing off a building and it'd be fine. Dan, what about you?
I agree with the mic. My preferred method is rabbets, but I also like to throw in like a through domino just for the extra shear strength. If you're going to do like a drawer, you have to have that strength on the outside of the drawer itself. So I think a through domino adds that extra bit of strength. And quite honestly, I like the way it looks. Pete?
Yep.
For me, it's the least desired look, but pocket holes, because I think in drawers, you can actually hide it really well. Obviously, some glue in there too, but if you do pocket holes on the short ends, it's tucked away in the back. You don't actually see it until you take the drawer fully out of the slides, and the front section is usually hidden by the front face of the drawer that you're actually going to put in there. And unless I really want to make it look like it's nice, like some kind of finger joints on the sides. Like if I want that look, yes, I'll go with that usually. Finger joints, because they're easy to do on a table saw, but otherwise I'm just going pocket holes because that's the quickest. That's it.
Yeah, I actually bought a box joint jig so I could start doing those for like really nice furniture in our houses or in our house. So that's why I bought
multiple
that thing.
houses must be
box joints
nice.
are great.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, in our house, one house, in our rooms of our house.
Tons of
houses. This next question is from, we're moving right along. We got a lot of questions here. The next question is from Chad Hibbs. I don't know why it says MGM Wine and Spirits. I'm assuming Chad was getting some drinks when he called in the question.
Hey guys, my question this week is related to woodworking, sort of. I recently listed an old tool on Facebook Marketplace, something that I no longer use, and one of the first responses I got was, hey, lowest price you'll go. Now, this is a free market, and they can make an offer that I can decline, all they want. But this kind of response that I get pretty frequently just bothers me a little bit when someone comes off right away saying, what's the lowest you'll go? So, not exactly woodworking related, but I think we've all bought and sold tools, especially starting out, on some of these platforms. So wanted to get your thoughts. How do you approach these situations? Look forward to hearing from you guys, and thanks a lot.
Pete?
I have sold more tools in Facebook Marketplace than I have ex-wives. That's all I'm going to say. Technically, that's true.
Wow.
Zero
ex-wives. Yeah. I totally get it. And we've talked about this multiple times on the podcast about is this still available? This is basically the other end of the stupid comment, which is, what's the lowest you'll go? It's like, don't put it on me to discount the value. I listed it for what it's worth. Although honestly, with Facebook Marketplace, I listed it for what I'm willing to haggle from, because what Facebook Marketplace is. If people are just going to try to haggle you down to the lowest number. But the least you can do, that person is showing that they have not researched that tool. They don't know what it's really worth, and they're not willing to really, honestly, you're probably not going to sell to that person. When they send you what's the lowest you're willing to go, send back the asking price.
Yes.
And don't even waste your time with those people, because
you took my answer.
Because if you're opening with that, I'm willing to say, that sale is going out the window. Screw it. But that person is not getting one over on me. Offer me something. If I'm asking 200, say, hey, can you do 175? I'll even pick it up. You know what? Yes, I like you. Let's do it. Cool. That's all I got. Dan?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. If you start out the conversation with what's the lowest you'll go, I'll respond back with whatever my listing price was. Yeah. If you want to haggle a little bit, and if I listed it $200, offer me 175, and we'll see where we can go from there. I agree 1000% with Pete. I could have just said ditto. Mike?
When someone asks me what's the lowest I will go, I always say, I don't know until I hear it. Then I put it right back in their court and make them have to make an offer.
That's a good one.
I like that.
So I always say that, and then whenever they'll usually not respond back. But sometimes people will be like, "What about this number?" And then I just I report them to the FBI for theft and murder. no. I
think the FBI is kind of busy right now. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Whenever I do that though, I'll either get no answer or they'll actually be forced into giving me an offer. And it usually,
I like that a lot.
More times than not ends up being nothing. They don't offer and they never follow back. But if I say, yeah, I don't know until I hear it, they'll give me a number. So this next one.
And then you say, that's not it. I'm out.
Exactly.
Then I tell them, double it.
What's the lowest you'll ever go? I don't know. I co-host
negative
a podcast every week.
$50.
I co-host a podcast every week. That's the lowest of the lowest.
This next question is from Lee Oman. He's got a question about woodworking.
Hey guys, it's Lee from Regal Street Woodshop. I'm cleaning up the live edges on a maple slab I'm working on, and I began to wonder how much of this edge can I actually clean up and remove before it starts to become something I created with a sander versus the natural live edge it started out as. So I guess my question would be, what's your process for cleaning live edge, and how far do you take it before it becomes something completely different? Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
I'll take this one. For live edge, for me, I usually hit it with my my draw knife. Oh, here's Luna. Hi,
Hey,
Luna.
Luna!
I'll hit it with my I'll hit it with my draw knife if I can't get it off. I have a really old flathead screwdriver that I'll hit it with my mallet to get the bark off if it's still on there. And then usually with the draw knife, I can get a lot of that membrane that's in between the actual wood and the bark. And if not, my goal is I take my finishing sander that has a foam backer, and my goal is to just get rid of that membrane so that you can see the wood. So I take off as little wood, as possible. So that usually means 80 grit.
Mhm.
On that foam back sander, which is a 3mm stride, I need to go. So then after the 80 grit, I'll hit it with that same sander to 120, and then I take it all the way up to the grits. So I'm trying to remove as little actual wood as I possibly can. Dan, what about you?
I like to use a cut saw disc on my grinder, actually. I feel like that.
I need to get some of those.
Yes, they're fantastic. And they go quick, but I like to I try to follow the grain pattern or the line pattern of the grain itself. So I'm not making inaccurate like grooves or whatever in the piece itself. So I follow the grain pattern, and after that I'll hit it with a 60, an 80, 120, sanding disc, a soft padded sanding disc, like on a sander, something that's going to follow the contours of the edge itself.
Mm-hmm.
Hope that makes sense. Pete,
I'm lost.
I actually use a fairly heavy set, meaning like it's set fairly deep, spoke shave. So I would probably use a draw knife for cleaning up the bark, but I still would probably go back to this spoke shave because it's a rounded head with a straight blade on it. So you're able to actually really follow the curves of the wood. So it's only taken off the topmost layer, and it tends to keep the natural flow of the live edge fairly well. So for like any charcuterie boards that I make or any live edges that I'm making, I usually follow that because that is riding, it literally has a reference surface, whereas a draw knife doesn't, and it can remove a lot more material. That might be good for bark cleanup, but I feel like a spoke shave really follows the natural curvature of the wood and helps keep it that same curvature, so to speak.
Keep it
I have a
natural.
video.
Yeah.
I have a video of me doing what I explained.
If it doesn't have 1 million views, I don't even want to see it.
I have a video that I posted when I was like sub 5 or maybe
Yeah, I
even
don't wanna see it.
3,000 followers. I might repost that this weekend if people are listening.
You're gonna get 1 million views, aren't you?
Yeah, it's gonna make you angry. It's gonna be great.
About Mike. This next question is from Nick Paccia. That was weird.
Hey guys, Nick from The Working Grain. I got a 2-part question for you. What is your current most used jig in the shop? And part 2 is, what is the next jig you plan to build? Thanks.
Pete.
Most used jig in the shop is my crosscut sled. I use it probably the most out of anything I've ever made in the shop. And the next jig I'm planning to make is it's a modification to the crosscut sled. I actually just ended up taking a 45-degree piece of wood that I cut, and I measured it perfectly and stapled it right onto the table, the sled, because I was making Dan's favorite, his artwork, mosaics. So I needed to make cross-cut straight 90s cuts, but also perfect 45 cuts. And I actually want to make something that might have a T-track in the sled, and I'll just be able to slide in or attach this 45.
Match fit dog.
I might do a match fit. That's actually a good idea. And
I know.
and
I know a guy who made a good video for it.
yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Who is it?
Name?
Penalty
Is it-
box.
Oh, is it Bruce Walbridge?
Penalty box.
is he
Jesse,
Swan?
penalty box.
So yeah, but it's something that allows me to cut both at the same time. So just something I can attach to the side, a little higher up on the sled. And that actually ended up, I straight up just nailed it right, like with a brad nailer right into my my sled. And I used it for 2 days straight, and it was great because I was able to make straight cuts and that. So probably just a modification to that. What about you, Dan?
I feel like you stole my answers. I
Oh,
feel
I'm
like
sorry.
you broke into my house and you violated me.
Well, I'm sorry. You could just say like a tripod mount for my table saw sled.
No, that was terrible.
Oh,
The most used jig in my shop is obviously the crosscut sled. However, the one that I'm going to make next is probably a crosscut sled because the one that I have now has been through hell and back, and it needs to be redone. I don't have a whole lot of explaining to do other than that. So, Mike.
Good. Crosscut sled for sure. Most used. I want to actually make another like half crosscut sled that only uses like one miter track to I just want to have one half of it not be on the other side. Does that make sense? Like a half a crosscut sled.
Yeah.
For different things. So I can do like 45s and stuff on there. And then I need to make a sled or a jig for my laser, which is boring and hard to explain. But what's the other thing? Well, I guess that's it really. I have another one, but my brain is absolutely wiping right now. So it looks like Pete is also wiping right now. So we'll just jump into this next question. Oh, there he is.
well, what are you talking about? I froze.
I don't know. Oh, you know what?
What?
We're not going into more questions right now.
No, we're not.
We're going into the giveaway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we haven't done that.
Mr. Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks.
That's why I definitely didn't get up to go to the bathroom.
Is that me?
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. First of all, for the last several weeks, I forgot to do this first. Last week's winner was Mr. Bryce Froderman. He won the Freud router bits package, which was a $71.
Froderman run the Freud?
I don't know.
There's a joke in there.
Why are you gonna hit me with questions that I can't answer right now? I don't know.
Oh, I think you just answered it.
You're confusing me. All right. Giveaway.
Threw Dan into a death spiral.
Giveaway.
Tweaking.
Giveaway week 30 from Macbeth, sponsored by Macbeth. Macbeth. Did I say Macbeth enough? This week, they're giving away a Payne Brothers premium knife supply, Damascus, and a sheath. It's like a knife maker's kit. You can make your own knife, and it's coming with a Damascus blade. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty dope. We've given that away in the past, and
It's
the
many
results
meetings during this forging process.
pretty cool.
We've given away the knife maker kit in the past, but not the Damascus.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
cool.
Oh, I guess I'm
And we got a
here.
few code word we got a few code word options. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen, rustic shake weights.
You don't even move the rusty.
That's the winner, dude.
You haven't heard number 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kmart furniture maker. No,
That's not as good as
The
rustic
first
shake weights. Come on.
You really sold the first one, but the second one, but the
All
first
right.
one did it.
all right, rustic shake weights.
I
You
love
need
it.
to send that to us in an email to awpgiveaway@gmail.com before we record next Friday.
Ooh, rules.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that we
Before
record
the live.
we record every week on Friday evenings. You
Yep,
need to
we
send
sure
this
do.
to us before every Friday.
Yeah.
Send this to us at
Another Woodshop hot AWP
No.
giveaway at gmail.com. Dan
I'm
can't
losing control. Rustic shake weights AWP giveaway at gmail.com. Thank you very much.
Did it. Nailed it. Nailed it. This next question is from Down Under.
Professional broadcaster.
Oh, it's from
Broadcaster. Oh my God.
Mexico? All right. Play it.
It's his Ash.
Afternoon, biz. Happy 2021. How the bloody hell are you? Ash from Woodwork and Whiskers in Australia. Just got a question in relation to using decals and things like that. I see a lot on cornhole boards over there, which are not something that's common over here, but we have some pretty strict rules in relation to merchandising and stuff like that. So I was wondering, because I see a lot over there that have decals on them. Do you have issues in America with that sort of thing, with copyright and all that crap? Interested in your thoughts. Cheers.
I'll take this one first, only because I recently had an Etsy listing taken down because it had the word Lego in it.
What?
I mean, yeah, the rules are there. It seems like by and large, companies aren't going to come after people who are making like one-off things. Now, this is not another Woodshop podcast's official legal stance, and we're not giving you legal guidance right now, but it seems like if you make like a one-off custom item with a logo on there, I mean, I see accounts that are making like signs and cornhole boards and things like that with very obviously copyrighted team logos on there. So I'm always like, whoa, that's crazy. But, you know, doesn't seem like there's repercussions. So, but are also probably not making, you know, $300,000 a year selling the same item over and over again. They're probably doing a bunch of different custom ones. So
is that the limit?
That's just my
$300,000.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a cutoff.
It's just a number I pulled out of my butt. But I mean, I imagine if you're hit a certain dollar amount, there's going to be issues, and they're going to want either you're going to get a cease and desist, or you're going to be like, you're going to see something saying, hey, you're going to have to send us some money via lawsuit. So, Pete,
it's a real like gray area for me. We've talked about this in the past, and I have been since then told by a semi-lawyer friend of mine that like you guys are kind of just like giving it like rough advice, because we really don't know. The legality of it is no, you're not allowed to do it legally. Right. None of them, whether it's a Chevy logo or a football team or whatever.
We've been sued twice because Dan mentions his Silverado.
God damn it, you did it again. Oh, I mentioned God. Now the church is going to sue us. Oh, God. Anyways, you legally, you are technically, you're not, none of us are allowed to do that. You're using someone else's intellectual property to make money. To monetize. Technically, you're not allowed to do it. But yes, you can get away with it. Sometimes, I mean, if I'm making it for myself and I love, Dan's a Silverado, Toyota 4Runners, or Subarus. I love Subarus. I want to make Subaru logos, whatever. I make it for my shop. Cool. I have it up, whatever. The second I start to monetize it and sell it, it's on my Etsy or whatever, you're opening yourself up to more potential trouble than that listing is worth. And I know exactly what he's talking about. A lot of people doing these custom logos and stuff. I think they're super cool. I think it's awesome that people are able to do these. It's, to me personally, it's not worth the potential legal repercussions, because you think, hey, Lego is too big to care about someone making a listing. Guess what? You know, Mike Gilligan Coffee over here gets his listing taken down because he's making building block trays or whatever you call them now.
It said Legos. I mean, yeah, I called them building block trays, but for sure, like a company like that, I've heard how litigious they are, but they for sure just, I mean, on a site like Etsy, for sure, there's people with every company looking up their name.
Probably running algorithms or
they just searched Lego bots. And Mike came up at the top because his page is fire. So it came up at the top and they were like, no, we want our money or you stop. So
yeah.
But Dan, what do you think?
Be careful.
I'm gonna ditto to everything you and Mike said.
Thank you.
Just because you see it on the internet,
we
doesn't
went
mean
way
it's
longer
true.
than you.
Yeah.
This next one is from, I hope I say it right, Brenton with Fox and West.
Hey, Mike and Dan, this is Brenton from Fox and West in New Hampshire. Thought this question would be topical as we're leaving cutting board season.
Wait,
So earlier this year,
is this hold on, I'm going to actually stop it. This question was very long, and it goes for a long ways, and the question ends up just becoming, are you team chamfer or team roundover? I almost threw my phone. Brenton, thank you for calling in with the question.
So mad.
But it was such a long, build up to ask if you're team chamfer or team roundover. So I'm going to let Dan answer.
So my
this one,
family was born in England in 1902.
94.
All of it is 1994. That's the year.
No, 97.
Whatever.
I personally like chamfers, but the client dictates whatever they want. I always give them an option. That's my answer, Pete.
Chamfer,
Next.
deep chamfer. I just go for chamfers, but like I also
chamfers.
Yeah, I said it right.
No,
chamfer.
no, you didn't.
You don't say champagne. You say champagne. Okay.
This ain't France.
Hey, I'm saying it right.
I'll come to Jersey and put my foot up your butt.
I would love for you to visit. That would be so nice, Dan. So nice. But really, it's whatever the client wants. We'll do both. I personally like chamfers. They look nicer. Chamfers also look nice, although they're spelled wrong. And roundovers are okay. Mike?
I'm team edge treatment. It doesn't matter. It just depends on the piece. Who cares?
Treatment.
So stupid. It doesn't matter to me. Just get whatever matches the thing. So
I'm team general whatever.
Team most agreeable answer. Brenton, thank you for calling in. That was a well thought out and long question, but you could have gotten to, are we team chamfer or team roundover? Please write us again. This next question is from a guy who has children, and I know that because his name's Josh the Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys, it's Jay the D. Yeah, Josh the Dad, one of the big IG, coming at you with a question. Now, originally, I wasn't going to send in a question because I've been out of the shop for about, a week and a half, 2 weeks now, kind of relaxing after Christmas break. But I've been helping some other makers animate their logos. And I had an interesting comment sent back to me from one of them, I guess, and said, well, I'm not sure how to use it yet, but I look forward to learning. And I thought, Now, I do a lot of video editing for my church and school, and I use Vegas Pro. And in 2021, my goal is to learn Adobe Premiere, which is a step up, I think, for me. And so I look forward to that. But now I'm a techie guy, so I know a lot of the free video stuff. But I'm curious, what do you guys use to edit your videos and to get them posted out there to the tuber and to Instagram and to the fake book and all that kind of stuff? All right, have a great week.
Dan, what do you use?
I like to use InShot, and Mike has turned me on to an app called LumaFusion that I use on my phone and my iPad. And Luma is what I've been using to edit my YouTube videos lately. I think it's a fantastic little app. Pete?
So ditto on both of those. I use both of those as well. Mostly InShot because it's just quick and dirty, but we just need to make
quick.
It's so quick. LumaFusion, I have not learned it enough, but I played around with it and I really like the. It's crazy the capability they fit into an iPad app. It's actually really, really cool. Another one I use is some other resources I use. Obviously, I actually make a lot of my stuff, and this might not be like logos and whatever, but the stuff I make directly in Vetric Aspire does a lot of the work that I need to do in there. I know some people actually straight up design and make their stuff right in what's the one that comes with
videos?
the X-Carve? Not videos, but I thought they meant like not
No,
just
he
videos,
asked for
but
videos.
Oh, for videos. Oh, never mind then.
What are you talking about?
I thought you were talking about like actual things they make as well, but
Oh no,
never mind.
video.
InShot, LumaFusion, and
It's like, what the heck?
probably that's the only two. I use what's the one? DaVinci Resolve. I started learning that and I really like it. It's very it's intuitive, but also a steep learning curve. So that's the 3 I use as well. Mike?
I currently only use LumaFusion for everything.
Damn.
Everything's LumaFusion for me. It's a really powerful app. And if anyone's got questions about it, ask Pete.
Yep.
And then I just got the no, if you have any questions about LumaFusion, I am really efficient in there. I would say I can really slap stuff out like quick. So
you edit the podcast in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has an
Kinda
audio,
crazy.
like it's like 6 live tracks. Like actually it might be more than that now, but it's 6 live track. Doesn't matter if it's video or powerful program. It has a lot of features. It has, you can do audio editing. I mean, like you can actually do filters in the audio so that it'll clean up like bit buzzing and high pitched sounds and stuff like that. So it's got a lot of really great features in there. I really like it. And like I said, I do the whole podcast in here.
I kind of wish there was
I
a
think the
desktop
podcast sounds
version.
great.
Yes, me too.
Well,
It's
so
really powerful.
so they're testing the beta for
Oh,
Apple
really?
devices, for MacBooks. Yeah, so they're testing that now. So there's been screenshots in the subreddit for LumaFusion of people who are testing it currently.
Mike, would you
So,
ever
but-
potentially make a video on some LumaFusion tips for starters?
I definitely would if there was enough interest. I've had a lot of people ask me.
There's at least 2 interests right here, and we're more important.
Yeah, so I mean it's really quick. Like I was thinking about like recording me editing. I was trying to figure out a way to show editing the video of me showing how to do LumaFusion. I was trying to make that inception happen for that video. I don't know how I do it though.
You can do that.
I know. I want to do that. I got to figure that out. So
No. There's no figuring it out. Plug it into your computer with a USB cable. QuickTime will record your iPad screen as if it's a input.
Oh yeah.
We'll
okay.
talk off camera.
Yeah. So I want to do that really bad. But
confused.
I've got the MacBook Pro coming. I got the one with the M1 chip. It's coming hopefully any day. I mean, it's in Oakland now. It got in here from China the other day. So
You could walk there from where you're at and get.
I would rather not walk to Oakland, but it's cool. But that's going to be landing, and I bought Final Cut Pro with that. So I'll probably be doing all my YouTube. Not probably. I'll definitely be doing all my YouTube videos on Final Cut, and I'll be doing all my Instagram videos and all the small like quick consumable stuff on LumaFusion. But I kind of have the feeling that I might hop over entirely to Final Cut. So, but I do love LumaFusion. It's a really powerful app. Like you can do a lot in there. I've been very happy with it. So,
yep.
This next question is from Kyle Nance. He's gonna flex on us about his dope shop he's getting built.
Must be
Hey
nice.
there, it's Kyle with Four Nance's Design Co. And I'm currently building a new shop and was wondering what are some things that might be overlooked by some people, but would be a great feature in a new shop build. Besides tools, I got most of the tools that I would need to get started with, but just wondering some other things that might get overlooked. Thank you.
Well, I'll go real quick, Dan. Mine's will be fast. I just got done remodeling my shop, and I'm gonna have to say electricity. Dan,
You son of a.
were you gonna say electricity?
Yes. Make sure there's enough electricity. The outlets you want.
Yep.
A lot of tools these days are going to run on 220. Make sure you have enough 220 outlets.
You want that? They last longer on 220.
Absolutely. And
they take less.
Quite
amps.
honestly, if I had a dream shop, I'd want a urinal every 10 feet.
Everything's a urinal if you're brave enough.
Just get a sawdust bucket.
Yes.
Can you imagine how bad that would smell in the summer?
It'd be fine.
Maybe a cot.
A
in
Homer
a
bucket
shower.
full of-
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pete, what you got?
So yeah, power. What's his name? Glenn Guarino, local woodworker here. He redid a shop a couple months ago, and literally every 8 feet there is 2 110 and 1 220 plug in his shop.
That's what
All
I've
right.
got.
He's constantly redoing his shop, and he's able to do that. It's just power, like Mike said, power is very important, but make sure you have both options available.
I think that's the most important thing right now.
And honestly, this
Mhm.
one thing that a lot of us use in the house that don't really think about a lot in the shop.
Food processor.
food processor and some kind of
Internet.
slop sink. A sink. I think a sink is very important in a shop.
Oh yeah,
And it would be a really nice
super
luxury
handy.
item. I know we were joking around in the pre-show about like shower, whatever. There's some guys out there with a full bathroom and shower. And when you have people stop by your house, your wife doesn't want you to bring random strangers into your living room or whatever to use the bathroom. So bathroom would be nice, but
Why is your bathroom in the living room?
it's off the living room.
His house
Sorry.
is weird, dude.
It's weird. It's like a bubble. But at the very least, a sink would be really nice in a lot of our shops. I mean, let's be real. Like I could use a sink every single day. Just,
True.
dump paint down.
And I
or
literally
something.
can't think of a time I would need a sink in the shop.
Well, that's maybe you, but me and Dan are on board on team
No,
sink.
I just can't think of like a time where I'm like, man, I wish I had a sink in here. I just
Well,
never.
what about
like,
when
You
you have,
never
like,
you never
old
get
paint?
glue on your hands?
Yeah, glue or old paint. You got to dump it
Yeah,
down
just
the sink.
rub it together. It falls right off. Paint.
It's a
I don't know
joke.
about the paint. I don't know
It's a
about the paint comment.
You're right. If it's like old
I'm
glue
on board
or
with the glue, but the paint, you lost me.
Well, anyway,
the
to
plumbing
each
in there,
their
bro.
own. But if you need a sink, listen to these guys. I don't know what that
I
means.
like
It
the
sounds like an
idea of a
insult, but it
sink.
wasn't meant to be.
Shower.
The next question. Yeah, like a bathroom. Like if you had a shop separate from your house, I think like a full bathroom would be nice. So you can
Absolutely.
get all cleaned up there and go in there. But yeah. This next one's from Moses Cho. He's the
Let my people
chosen one. Let
Wood
my people check.
Go.
Hey, another Woodshop podcast. This is Moses Cho with Chosen Craft Co. So my question for you is, what is the worst thing you've done to a client?
Murder.
I don't know if they're all listening, but I don't mean like hiding mistakes or, something that you've fixed and that made it look nice. I guess that counts too, but something that, only you know. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Dan's got quite the story, and he's waving his hands very aggressively. So this is going to be bad. You better listen.
Jazz hand.
I drove down to their house with a machete.
The walnut desk had no adhesive in it. You don't know. It's just jammed into the
Was
corner.
Put together with duct tape.
It's just jammed into the corner of their house.
No,
It's such a tight fit.
if you go back in my profile on the IG, you'll see that I made a solid cherry headboard. That was for like a friend of mine. They were a client, they paid me, but it was also for a friend of mine. And we have a disagreement on music choices, so to speak.
He likes country.
No,
And you like rock and roll?
He likes indie stuff. And I wrote Nickelback is the greatest band alive in one of the glue ups. So it'll never be found until it comes apart. And it's not going to come apart because I'm a professional woodworker. That's what I've done. I put messages in glue ups.
Really?
I do that to a lot of my clients.
Did you put a message in the glue up of the most recent picture frame? Because then I'd be able to read it afterwards.
No, I won't post that. Nobody will ever see it. Mike.
The worst thing I've done is I had a guy reach out to me about a job and I just never got back to him. That's about the worst thing I can think. I mean, I just never responded to the guy. The email got lost and he messaged me like, "Hey man, do you want this job? I have cash in hand." I'm like, "Oh man, I feel terrible." Anyway, I just completely missed it. I really don't like missing customer requests, but I didn't write something good about Nickelback on someone's furniture. That's for sure. Pete,
Missed opportunity there.
yeah.
For me, I mean, I haven't really made a lot of like big hidden mistakes that I wanted to hide from people, but the one I guess glue ups. But for me it was early on when I was making cutting boards. It was one of the first or second seasons that I was making cutting boards for holidays. Yeah, cutting boards, right? I remember sanding this whole board or a bunch of boards like to 220, nice and smooth. And then I cut the chamfer with a really crappy Harbor Freight bit. And that was definitely not 220. But of course I hit the entire thing with oil and sent it out. And a couple boards went out to customers. And then I felt the other boards that I did the same thing to, and I was like, oh, this is like 40 grit on these chamfers. But it's just popped with
Chamfers?
oil. Chamfer? Am I saying it right? Chamfer?
Chamfer.
CH.
That's
Chamfer.
right. You nailed it, Champ.
Thanks. I am the champion.
Stop.
Champions.
Champion.
Demonetized. But yeah,
Are the champions.
I had the like glass smooth cutting boards with like 40 grit chamfers on it. Oh, but that was.
You're a monster.
I'm a monster. They never noticed. They never noticed.
Whatever.
That's all I got.
Realistically, they probably wouldn't notice.
Yeah. They don't know any better.
We're moving right along. We're actually getting through these questions faster than I thought it would. This next one's actually the last one.
Oh.
And it's from Nick with Winsell Woodworks.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nick from Winsell Woodworks, and I have a question about shop upgrades. So I'm looking to upgrade both my joiner and my planer. I'd like to get a 8-inch heel-to-head joiner and a 15 or probably 20-inch head planer. To buy both of them at the same time, probably not going to be able to happen, but maybe. Still deciding. But my question to you all is, if you had to do one before the other, which would it be and why? Currently, I have a 6-inch straight knife joiner, not a bench top. It's an old Steel City, probably like 10 years old. They're not even in business anymore. And the DeWalt lunchbox planer. Works fine, super loud, little inconvenient, but, gets the job done. Anyway, thanks for doing a great podcast. Thanks for answering. Glad to be a patron now, and keep up the good work.
Pete, you're pointing to yourself, so I can only assume that means you want to answer.
Yeah, he listed a decent joiner and a awful planer. So I'm gonna say planer, because you can get by with a 6-inch straight knife joiner, but that lunchbox planer is not gonna cut it, buddy. If you're gonna be upgrade big with that first. That's just my thought. Mike, what do you think?
I think go with the big planer first as well, because you can make a jointer sled. If you got a 20-inch planer, you can make a huge joiner sled, and you can join. I mean, I have a big jointer, but I've used my jointer sled on my planer or planer sled or whatever on my planer to joint some huge wide boards. I mean, now I've got other options, but a big planer is awesome. A big jointer is also awesome, but 20 inches, you're not gonna be able to afford a 20-inch jointer. I mean, a 20-inch planer is amazing.
Yeah.
So, Dan, same answer.
Absolutely. If you have a 20-inch planer, you, my friend, have a 20-inch jointer. If you just make a planer sled. So yes, planer first.
It's more work for sure. There's a reason joiners exist, but yeah, it's definitely going to get the job done quick and do really well. So
for sure.
I didn't think we'd get through these questions so quick. So you guys were right.
Told you so.
So now we got to BS for 15 minutes.
Nope.
Or
I would like to say big thank you to what's that, Dan?
Or we call it quits.
Yeah, no.
That's what I was getting at.
I mean, do we have anything else we want to talk about?
Not really.
No, me either.
I think we're good.
I know what I want to talk. What?
Go ahead. No, what do you got? What do you got?
Well, I've got big news.
This just got all awkward.
Yeah, I know. What do you want me to do? No,
Dan, lean in.
Yeah, everyone lean in.
Everybody lean in.
What do you want to talk about?
Hey,
What's going on?
This is a terrible outro. Big thank you to Bear Hollow for supporting the show. Please give them some love. Go give them some support. Check out their Instagram page and their website. They really do have some cool hardware. I've bought stuff from them many, many times, and I really do like them a lot. So
they do have dope hardware.
They do. They do a good job, and they really want to make sure that the customer's happy. So big thank you to them. We appreciate them supporting us. Everyone who supports us from listening and sharing, we love you. Everyone who supports us on the Patreon page, Another Woodshop, or I guess it's patreon.com/Another Woodshop podcast. Thank you to everyone who supports us over there. There's like 113 of you now, 112 of you now. That's
115,
bonkers.
I think.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, it's crazy. The thing keeps growing, and we're just so proud of that. And we're so happy that there's enough of you that like what we're doing, that we get to keep doing it. So big thank you to you. Give us the 5-star reviews if you could. Check us all out on Instagram. I think Pete's on TikTok.
Yeah, I am now.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Check us all out on Instagram, TikTok,
And YouTube Shorts.
Facebook, Short. Yeah, YouTube. You know, we're all over there. We're active. We're all trying to really focus on a lot of things this year. So check us out over there. We all have Etsy stores. If you want to check out our Etsy stores and give us some support there, if there's something interested in, if you want to check out those. The podcast has its own Etsy store and its own YouTube channel. It's like a real person. So go check it out. I think we got some really great merchandise over on the Another Woodshop Podcast Etsy store.
A lot of t-shirts.
There's a lot of shirts, and we got some stuff that I need to get for myself. So we love and thank you for all your support. Please keep sharing the show and telling people that you think would like the show about the show. We'd really appreciate that. I think that's kind of it. Next week's 45. We're only 5 away from 50. That's stupid. 6 away from
2 more
50,
after that, and it's a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's some other news coming down the pipe. We know that the vaccine for COVID is starting to roll out now. So we're
courtesy of Another Woodshop Podcast.
Yep, we actually came up with that. We're very proud of it. Due to all your Patreon money, we were able to research and come up with the cure for COVID.
You're very welcome.
Yeah,
no, I don't know if we can claim that.
I'll edit all
Another
this
Woodshop
out.
Podcast backwards spells Moderna.
No, Vic, that's starting to roll out. So we have big plans to have at least we're going to be at meetups, and we want to actually host some meetups this year. So there's definitely those are not going away.
At least 2.
I mean, there's going to be at least 2 this year. I mean, obviously COVID related or COVID pending. We'll see what happens. But there's one that we were talking about in Salt Lake City. They had kind of fallen by the wayside just because of all the surge in numbers. But that's not off the table. It's just a matter of COVID slowing down so we can make it happen. And then
it's a matter of timing.
Yep, it's all timing. We want to go to the East Coast, and we want to go to the Middle America as well.
Omaha.
So Dan wants to go to Omaha for obvious reasons. He's very lazy. So
Chicago's kind of nice this time of year.
Omaha's super nice this time.
Those things will happen. It will happen. I'm very stubborn. So is Dan. So is Pete. It will happen. It's just a matter of timing. So we want that to happen. We want to meet as many of you as we can. Open mouth kisses or open mouth hugs, I should say.
We want to make AWP Con happen.
That's pretty.
All good. 3 days, Anaheim. We're just all AWP fans.
We're all going to LARP as our favorite AWP host.
Yeah.
And
cosplay.
LARP.
Just the guys dressed up as a Polish flag. I love
Hey, it's Pete. Mike with a Polish flag coming out of it. All right, this show's really stupid. We'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good week. Bye.
Love you long time.